On a rain-slicked evening, Emma boarded an old train at a desolate station shrouded in fog. The train's doors closed with an echoing clang, and she felt a twinge of unease. The interior was a relic from another era, opulent but now disheveled. Dust danced in dim light, and mildew thickened the air. Emma settled into a plush seat, hoping for a quiet ride, but the train seemed to whisper with past voices. The train lurched forward, and the familiar swaying motion began. Outside, the rain intensified, drumming aggressively on the metal roof. Emma glanced at her watch. Only an hour into the journey. She sighed and leaned back, trying to relax despite the creeping dread. The lights flickered, and her flashlight blinked erratically. She dismissed it as an electrical issue and turned her attention back to the window. The blurred, gray world outside seemed to pulse with an unnatural rhythm. Without warning, the train jolted violently, throwing Emma against the seat. The lights dimmed, casting long shadows that slithered across the walls. The air filled with a faint metallic odor mingling with damp wood and upholstery. Emma's heart raced. She fumbled with her phone, but it remained dark. The train's compartments were eerily silent except for the rain's relentless assault. Emma's breaths came out in visible puffs, and she decided to investigate the abrupt stop. As she moved down the narrow aisle, the rain's noise grew deafening. She reached the conductor's cabin, but the door was locked tight with a rusted lock. Isolated and claustrophobic, the train felt like a prison. Suddenly, Emma heard footsteps, slow and deliberate, coming from the next compartment. Her pulse quickened as she peered through the glass door. A man in a tattered conductor's uniform, his face obscured by a shadowed hat, glided past her. His presence was unnervingly calm. Emma's instinct screamed to follow, so she did, her footsteps echoing in the silent train. The figure stopped at a compartment door and disappeared inside. Emma, her curiosity overcoming her fear, opened the door slightly. The compartment was empty except for a small, antique suitcase. With trembling hands, she opened it to find old photographs. Most were of smiling families, but one stood out, a black and white image of the train station she had left, but decades older. A conductor in the background looked eerily like the one she had seen. The train lurched again, causing Emma to stumble. The suitcase snapped shut, and a chilling breeze carried a sorrowful melody. The temperature dropped, and her breath misted in the cold air. Panicked, she tried to return to her seat but found the compartments had changed, stretching endlessly. Every turn led her back to the suitcase compartment. The mournful music grew louder, filling her with dread. Her flashlight flickered back to life, casting weak beams that made the shadows dance ominously. Desperate, she ran back toward the conductor's cabin. The man in the tattered uniform stood there, waiting. His hollow eyes met hers with profound sadness. "The train is bound by time," he said, his voice a ghostly echo. "We are trapped in this journey, reliving our final moments." Emma realized the truth. The train was a spectral vessel, carrying souls who could not move on. The conductor extended a hand, his face filled with regret. "You must leave. You've seen too much." Emma turned to flee, but the train jolted violently. The lights went out, plunging her into darkness. The mournful music turned into anguished cries. She ran blindly, grasping at cold metal walls for support. The rain outside roared deafeningly. Suddenly, the train stopped. The compartment doors opened, and a dim, warm light spilled into the aisle. Emma stumbled out into the station, her heart racing. The rain had stopped, and the fog lifted. The station was now bustling with people, their faces friendly and curious. Emma looked back, but the train had vanished into the mist. She felt a profound relief mixed with lingering fear. She had escaped, but the haunting memory of the night she ventured alone into a realm where time stood still would remain with her forever.